Hello everyone, I'm NiiNiiFC and this is Blue Lines TV, and today I'm bringing you a special transfer daily video. Yes, you guys, Alvaro Morata will be a Chelsea player. He just needs to complete his medical. He's going to be signing for us within this week, and that's our third signing in the last 17 days. Now, before I even get into this video, I need to clarify something. Of course, you saw me announce my Aguero video today. My source gave the information regarding Chelsea officials coming down to his firm to look for a Spanish-speaking bank and property advisor. And of course, when they do that, as I said earlier, when a club wants a player, he likes to show them what they can offer. So of course, Chelsea are going to tell the player they're interested in, we can do this for you. You have your property, your taxes will be sorted, your business ventures, this and that, etc. And that's actually a great bargaining tool in getting a player. Now, here's the thing. The mistake was that I actually said Aguero. At the time I received the information, Aguero was the player. But of course, Chelsea played a very smart plan, and this is how it actually works in football. And I'm going to explain what happens. We know that Real Madrid set a 90 million euro fee for Morata. Also, they set like a 40 million fee for Danilo. Now, here's the thing. Milan were very close and interested in signing Morata, but they changed their mind and they're actually targeting Belotti now. At the time, there was news that Chelsea were looking into Aguero, and Real Madrid are panicking because they need to raise the funds for Kylian Mbappe, and of course they were forced to lower the fee for Morata. And actually it was very great business by Chelsea, and a lot of things happen like this continuously in football, especially behind the scenes. There's a lot of tactical stuff. When you hear leaks being reported on potential transfers, there's a reason for why there's leaks. Most of the times it's not just something made up by the press. Usually someone's trying to gain something for it. And I think what Chelsea did was intelligent. It was a great bit of business. And this is the reason why we're able to get Morata for a much better fee, even though the 70 million euros allegedly is still huge. Now, getting on to the main point of this video. And I'm here today to explain to you what Morata is actually going to offer to Chelsea, what his strengths and weaknesses are, and if he's the right signing we need right now. Now, to kick things off, I'm going to be discussing strengths at this moment. And I think, of course, Morata has some very good attributes. I think, one, his ability to play on the counter-attack. I really love that he's very comfortable playing all over the pitch. He's a very multifaceted player. I like that he's able to play 20, 30 yards deeper from goal because he has the dribbling ability and, and brains to be able to make up that ground and recover the ground that's lost. And I think that especially with the 3-4-3 we play, our main striker isn't necessarily in the opposition's box all the time. It's more about his build-up play and his link-up play, the pass and movement, to then be able to make that pass and then make that run into the box. So I think Morata is actually going to complement that, and I think compared to Diego Costa, he's definitely a much more technical player. Costa, for example, he's world-class facing the goal. But when he's not facing the goal, when he's playing with his back to goal, when he has to hold up the play, link up play, read the game, it's not at an elite level. I don't think Morata's is at an elite level yet. I'm going to get into that later on when I discuss weaknesses, but compared to Diego Costa, it's much better. And I think if you take into consideration his age, regular playing time, I really think with strikers like Morata, you have to wait until they're 26, 27 to really judge and assess if they become world class, because that's really an age where most strikers really, become the players that they're meant to be. I think another thing with Morata is his dribbling ability as well. Again, I have to explain this again in weaknesses. It is very good compared to Diego Costa's. It's much better. He's much more ambidextrous and he's able to weave in and out, but there are some weaknesses in terms of his dribbling as well, which you'll hear later on. Morata is very good at heading the ball. He's actually very underrated in that respects, and I really think that's going to add something different to our game, and I think we need that. Sometimes we can be too one-dimensional. I think consider it like this. Our wing-backs constantly have to play low different passes most times because we don't really have someone that is great in the air. Costa isn't, but I think with Morata, that's going to add more variation to the type of crosses and things we can do. The type of variation that a striker will need. I think with Morata as well, the guy is very good at attacking spaces inside the box. And I think, again, that's something that Costa just doesn't do. He's always waiting for the ball to come to him, but he's not actually attacking the spaces. And I really like strikers that do that because, of course, it makes it easier for your teammates to find you. And of course, it shows intelligence and reading of the game. I think Morata has that, and he's getting much better at that. But it's time to talk about some weaknesses. But of course, I can't even forget, of course, he's great on the counter-attack as well because of his speed. There's that infamous moment against Bayern Munich when he ran with the ball from behind the halfway line, then had the composure to play that pass to Cuadrado. But this actually links into his weakness, because one thing that Morata has is that he keeps his head down way too much. And this is why his dribbling's pretty inconsistent. Now, I know he's got a 54% dribbling completion rate, but to really assess if a player is very good and has a high success rate of dribbling, he needs to be getting past the 60% mark in my eyes, because that means that most times he's pulling it off. And I think Morata is still very inconsistent, and that's because his reading of the game isn't perfect yet. And again, his technique in regards to, of course, reading of the game and picking the right moments when to make a dribble, and then, being able to dribble past someone and then not lose the ball. And I think Morata is just too inconsistent in that regards. But then again, that's an area in his game which he will improve in, because we have to realise throughout his entire career he's been fighting to be a #1 striker. So I think coming to Chelsea now, where he's going to be afforded the game time to be able to make mistakes and improve, that's something that Morata has needed for his whole career. And I think that we're signing a player with very, very high potential. And I think that, of course, with the players around him, playing in a 3-4-3, which he's definitely going to complement, having Hazard very close to, having Pedro very close to him too, Morata likes that. Morata likes those options to play off, so he can make those runs in behind. And I think, I keep saying I think a lot, but I think that's pretty exciting. But again, he's not the most complete player just yet. I mean, there's a few more things in this game I need to speak about, even his build-up play as well. As I said earlier, it's better compared to Diego Costa, but in the general scheme of things, he does play the wrong pass quite a lot. Like I just said earlier, him playing first team football, he's going to be able to make mistakes and improve. He needs that right now. But again, there's a few more other things as well that Morata just needs to improve on. I think his finishing too can be pretty inconsistent, and he has this this mental attribute where sometimes he plays for himself too much. Now, it's a great thing when your striker is very selfish, but at the same time, especially with the system we're playing, it's not necessarily the best thing all the time. I mean, one player, for example, that really affected last year was Eden Hazard. I mean, this guy was constantly in the right positions all the time, and there weren't players around him who were able to have the composure to play the correct pass that was needed, because Hazard was in a lot of very, very good goal scoring situations. And I think if you combine this with Morata's, not perfect reading of the game and, playing with his head down too much, there could be potential problems with that. And of course, that leads to him shooting from crazy angles. Of course, a few times it's going to pull off, but to be an elite striker, you know when to make that shot, when to make that pass, when to do everything. It's not about testing whether it's going to come off or not. You need to have that type of assurance in your game. And I really think the money we're paying for Morata, of course, it's a reduced fee, but 70 million euros is a lot of money. And I really think that when you pay more than 60 million for a player, I honestly think you should be paying for guarantees. For example, if that player is getting you 30 goals a season, or he's getting you 20 assists a season, that means when he comes to your club, he's going to be continuing off where he left from. He doesn't have to readjust and get used to things. He kicks off immediately. I think with Morata, with this signing, he's not the perfect player just yet. I think that he definitely is at the environment where he will become a much better player. But I really think to really assess what he does, I think give him a season. I think this season is going to be a very big learning curve for him, because he's officially the #1 guy from now on. With just as patience is what we need. It's definitely patience what we need. We're signing someone with very high potential. I'm not gonna, I don't honestly think that Morata will never reach big heights. I think he definitely is going to reach them, and I think picking Chelsea is probably the best, most smartest move for him. But I expect him to start being world class in the next 2 seasons, 3 seasons. I think he's going to need that type of game time, and I think as fans, we can't be too harsh. Now, he's going to have a lot of, he's costing a lot of money. He's going to have that pressure on his back. it's going to be interesting to see with how he deals with it. But at the same time, there are favourable conditions. He's played under Conte, he understands him. He's not going to feel the pressure necessarily in terms of having to prove to someone who doesn't know much about him, because Conte already knows him. I think the Premier League too, I mean, we have to be serious. It's not a league where strikers have to be the most technically gifted players in the team. I mean, compared to La Liga. And I know a lot of Real Madrid fans have criticised Morata for his technique, but again, they are comparing him to Benzema. And Benzema is one of the best strikers in the world at link-up play and technical play. And that's one of the main reasons why Ronaldo is so successful at Real Madrid. And that's why Real Madrid never want to get rid of Benzema, because, you know, he helps accelerate Ronaldo's performances. So of course you have to understand that that's always going to be the comparison between them. So I don't always think necessarily it's the most fair, but I have seen Morata play and I have seen what he does in games. And again, these are kinks in his game which will definitely improve upon and he will definitely get better at. And do I think he's worth the fee? No, of course not. But I was the same guy when Pogba, Ronaldo, Bale, when they all left for massive money. I didn't agree with the fee at all. But do I think that Morata is a good signing for Chelsea? Yes, I really do think he's a good signing for us, purely because he's at the environment where he's going to get better as he plays, and he complements what we need in a striker in our 3-4-3, which is the key thing. And if you look in the market today, there's not many strikers right now that could do that. I mean, we had one in Bertrand Traore, but then we got rid of him, we sold him. He could have become something with that game time that Morata's getting, but that's a story for another day. But yes, Morata coming to Chelsea is a good signing. I'm looking forward to what he does. I think he's going to gel in really well with the squad. Obviously, he knows a lot of the Spanish-speaking players as well, and the manager. I think he's got a lot of favourable things going for him, and I'm expecting big things from him in the years to come. But anyway, you guys, thank you for watching my video today. Please like, comment, subscribe. It really helps us. Really appreciate the support even more. We want to get even bigger and even better, and your support means a lot. And please, you guys, remember on Friday is the Snapchat Q&A. Now, if you have any questions you want to ask me directly, send it in to Blue Lines TV. The Snapchat is Blue Lines TV. I'm going to go through all of them and pick the best ones for the videos. So tune in on Friday to see if you've been selected. But anyway, you guys, thank you for watching my video on Alvaro Morata. I'm NiiNiiFC. This is Blue Lines TV. Signing out.